So we'll continue with May, June 2019. So we're going to question 3, right? Question 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. So backyard shoes is analyzing its financial position before it begins selling shoes to men and children. Define the term profit. When we talk about profit, profit simply means the difference between your total revenue and your total cost. What do I call profit? The difference between the total revenue and the total cost. Is it clear? Yes. So you can write the formula anyway, like total revenue minus total cost. You're still going to get the same mark. Is it clear, please? Yes. So
but this is the definition of the information.
you can write the formula. They're still going to give it to you.
Fine.
Without these orders, you're going to get your mark. Clear? Shall we move on?
Yes.
Yeah, question. Okay, I can still write it anyway. I can still write here. Question B. Outline one impact on backyard shoes if interest rates increase. Oh, okay. So the second question says outline one impact on backyard shoes if interest rate increase. What is interest rate? Interest rate is the price, is the cost of borrowing and the benefit of saving. The cost of borrowing and the benefit of saving. That is what interest rate is. So if interest rate increases, it means borrowing, the price of borrowing, the cost of borrowing will increase. That would reduce borrowing. And if the interest rate falls, it means the cost of borrowing reduces. That encourages more borrowing. Do you get the point I'm making here? As soon as interest rate is what we pay on whatever we borrow. So if here they said the interest rate increases, so an increase in interest rate will make borrowing become expensive. Do you get what I'm saying here? Because you have to borrow from the bank. So because the interest rate is high, it means the amount you have to pay on the principal, which is the amount of money you are borrowing, will increase. Do you get the point here? So that means backyard shoes, for example, if backyard shoes has loans to pay, or loans to pay to maybe some banks, the amount it has to pay now would increase, which means its expenses would increase. Because interest on loan is a finance cost. Get the point here. There's interest rate, which is aligned with loan. So if interest rate increases, it means the amount you have to pay whenever you borrow money from the bank increases. So that discourages you from borrowing. And if you really want to borrow, it means you have to pay more. So because you're paying more, your expenses increases. Do you get it? Interest rate. Paying interest means it is part of it's an item in your statement of profit or loss. Another comprehensive income, which is an expenses. So if the interest rate increases, your expenses increases. Do we understand? So the impact is that if backyard shoes has a loan to pay, because of the interest rate, an increase in the interest rate, it means its expenses has to increase. Yes?
What's the reason that interest rate increase?
Well, an increase in interest rate might be based on it's a government policy. It's on government policy. Interest rate is done by the central bank of the country. The interest rate is designed by the central bank of the government of the country. So most of the time, government policies such as, we call it monetary policy. Let me quickly go back to monetary policy. When we talk about monetary policy, these are policies that talks about the interest rate, the exchange rate, and money supply within the economy. So these policies are designed to change the situation of the economy. So if interest rate is increasing, it means government wants to reduce spending. And if government wants to feel like, oh, government wants to increase the aggregate demand within the economy, government will reduce interest rates. As soon as interest rate falls, it means we can as well borrow more. We have more income to ourselves, then we can spend more. So these are government policies which is designed based on different situations within the economy. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So if government feels that certain things are not right, government will come up with policy to change the situation. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So if interest rate here for backyard shoes, if interest rate increases, it would have meant that backyard shoes will be paying more interest if it has a loan. That is, if it has a loan. That is on one side. Another side is because the interest rate has increased, those that would want to borrow money from the bank to buy shoes from backyard shoes might not be able to buy it. Because backyard shoes sells expensive shoes, which can be considered as luxury. So if people have to buy it, those that feel like those that really want to buy through loans will not be able to get loans. As a result of that, the revenue for backyard shoes would fall. Because those that are expecting to get a loan to buy the shoes will not be buying it. Do we get interest rate here? So I've given you two impacts here. First, on the customers who really want to buy a shoe, but they need to take a loan. Now that the interest rate is increasing, they wouldn't want to take a loan. So the demand for backyard shoes would fall. That is on customer side. Now let's talk about backyard shoes itself. If backyard shoes needs to take loans, maybe for supplies, so that it can have more supplies of raw materials for its shoes, and it needs a loan to do that, taking the loan will mean that it has to pay a lot of interest rate, and that reduces its profit because the expenses would have increased. And note, profit is always total revenue minus the total cost. So because the interest rate is increasing, its total cost would increase. So taking it away from the total revenue, the profit would fall. Do we get it?
Yes.
So we can write.
Is the interest rate different for businesses and for normal people?
No. Interest rate is constant. It is the same for everyone because it is set by the government, mostly the central bank of the country. So it's a monetary policy. And when we talk about policies do not discriminate. So it is for you. If it's for you, it's for all. That's government for you. Government does not discriminate. Clear? Any question again?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to write the meaning of interest rate then, going further. You can't do without talking, right?
Are you asking that I have the right to speak?
No, you don't have to write. You keep quiet, please. I want decorum in the classroom. That's all I want. You write, you're not supposed to talk.
The benefit of
Saving.
What's not the saving?
And full stop. And increase. So that means it will have gotten a loan from the bank. So an increase in interest rate means it has to pay a higher expenses now.